Update us also. I know Bruce Imholt, Alderman Imholt, has been on the Heartland Trail Committee, and this work has been going on, since, I took over the reins here at the news department, so it's close to 15, maybe even 20 years with pre-conversations about the Heartland Trail, but we're actually going to see the trail being built this year, finally.
The trail is going to be constructed from the tunnel underneath Highway 10, which is just on the east edge of the city by the lodge and the lake, and there's a tunnel under there. Maybe people don't even know that anymore, And then the trail will go on the north side of Highway 10, and you can see some of the tree cutting that's gone on. And the trail will be constructed down to the segment by Acorn Lake, which is also under construction. And then there'll be the final phase from Acorn Lake into Frazee that'll have to come later because we're going to be going out, or we've got requests in for more bonding money to complete that segment. So We're finally going to, I think, see a big segment of that trail completed. And as you mentioned, Bruce has been involved with this for a long time. He's done great work, and he's really been the point man on it for the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that'll be fun to see some dirt moving and the actual trail progress this summer. And I think that is supposed to wrap up, I suppose, right before the snow flies.
Right.
But it would be fun to see. We're in the studio this morning with Detroit Lakes Mayor Matt Brenk, talking about some of the many construction projects going on around town. And Mayor Brenk, let's talk a little bit more about that South Shore Park that is underway right on the corner of South Shore Drive, and I think it's 170th Avenue.
Right. Yeah.
But I've been by there a few times, and also have noticed some dirt piles and construction materials there. So what is going to happen this year at that location?
Well, construction's going on. There's going to be a parking lot that's going to be built, and it's under construction now. There's going to be a shelter type building like we have down in Peoples Park that'll be constructed. And there's also going to be some trail through there that will connect on. There are some trails back in the Lake Forest Edition. I think the trail will connect up with that. And also some pre-construction for future courts of some sort, either like a multi-purpose court that can be used for tennis or pickleball, or kind of to be determined at this point, but we're definitely going to have some courts there. The other good news we had last night is that we were informed just yesterday afternoon that we were successful in getting a grant in the amount of $190,000, which would be a matching grant. So any of that money that we would take, we would have to match with a local match, and that will be used for playground equipment at the South Shore Park. So a lot of progress there.
Okay, yeah, so some great things kind of on the south side of Detroit Lakes, around the lake. Detroit Lake City Council held their June meeting last night, and Mayor Brenk is in the studio this morning to talk about some of the updates as we head into the summer months. And Mayor Brenk will talk a little bit more before we head into a break, but let's talk some more about the police department, the new facility. Of course, since we last spoke, ground was broken on that facility right off Summit Avenue, kind of in between Summit and Minnesota. And now the financing, I guess the bonds were sold yesterday to Midwest Bank.
Yeah, if you've driven by the site, we've got a big hole that's been dug, so there's definitely construction going on. The law enforcement center will have underground parking for the squad cars, so that's why the big hole is there. But yeah, construction has started. And I heard on my way out here, I heard you had some clips from last evening talking about the financing. As people know, we're financing this project with a local option sales tax. We're projecting a repayment period of, I think, 8 years or less. And so far, the revenues coming in on the sales tax, in spite of the COVID-19, have been actually more than we projected, and we think they're going to even get stronger. So we're hopefully going to be able to pay this off even sooner than 8 years. And so the other part of action last night by the council was to approve, as you mentioned, the financing through Midwest Bank. Rather than go out for bonds, we chose to solicit quotes from local banks to finance the project. We were able to get a rate of 1.5% through Midwest Bank, which is a tremendous rate. And the kind of the key there to go with this local financing is we have no prepayment penalty, and we also can take draws during the construction period for up to 10 months and only pay interest on the draw. So there was a couple of big advantages on the financing by keeping it local rather than going out to the municipal bond market.
Okay. So that's some good news.
Yeah, good news.
Save us a little money. All right, Detroit Lakes Mayor Matt Brenk in the studio with me this morning, talking about the many projects underway in different, processes, and that the police station, of course, last week, all those dump trucks, I should have counted how many times they went up and down the hill, but that is a big hole right there. So that is going to progress, and that will be done next year. So that won't take too long to get done.
Should be about this time next year, and it's going to be a really nice looking building, very functional, and it should serve the citizens. We've got room to grow in there. So it should be a building that will serve the citizens for many, many years into the future.
Right. And I know that we should talk about some of the events that have happened over the last week or two with the world watching Minnesota with the latest George Floyd incident in Minneapolis, the protests, and kind of the talk about police reform. But, like many council members said last night, our law enforcement officers in Detroit Lakes and Becker County have done a great job with policing through the years, and it's kind of a reflection that the community is investing in building this new building for our police department because they know that they are needed and they are an asset to our community.
Yeah, and we had like a sort of a small demonstration here in Detroit Lakes. Was it last Sunday or the Sunday before? Mm-hmm. Anyway, both our local Detroit Lakes Police Department and the Sheriff's Department of Becker County worked in conjunction with that to be on alert for anything that could start to go south on us. But everything went very well. The protesters or the demonstrators, or whatever you want to call them, were pretty much peaceful the whole time, and our law enforcement people were very tolerant, and everything cleared up about 9 o'clock that evening, and so no problems.
Right. And you were called into action, I think, with the curfew put in place that night too at 9 o'clock. So that's something as a mayor and as a city that you are informed of situations like that. And,
sure. Right. Yeah, I was part of the process, and I just felt that, get to be 9 o'clock, it's getting dark, it's time maybe for folks to go home and call it a day, and people were very cooperative, and it worked out just fine.
All right, Detroit Lakes Mayor Matt Brenk in the studio with me this morning, talking about things going on in the city of Detroit Lakes as the City Council held their monthly meeting, their June meeting last night, and we'll talk more with the mayor. We've got lots to talk about yet, including the city received their 2019 audit. Also, we'll talk more about some of the liquor store sales, some more COVID information as things open up slowly around the area, and more just ahead on Hodge Podge this Wednesday morning.